Good afternoon. Welcome to the Stronger Marriage Podcast.
Hello, everybody.
Glad you joined us today. We're excited that you're here. We have got a great day planned.
Welcome to the Stronger Marriage Podcast with Trey and Lee. On this podcast, you'll hear real topics about real life. They cover everything from married sex to raising kids to loving your spouse so much that you're willing to forgive them for occasionally being the most annoying person in the world. Trey and Lee have raised 4 boys, been married over 30 years, and somehow still really like each other. And now, live from the metropolis of Childress, Texas, a place so flat you can watch your dog run away for 3 days. Here are your hosts for the Stronger Marriage Podcast, Trey and Lee Morgan.
Thanks for joining us today. We're glad to have everybody.
We are. Man, it has been an interesting week in Texas, hasn't it?
It has been an interesting week. If you're in the Texas or in part of the South that's had the cold front, the snowstorm, it has been weird. Very, very weird.
Yeah, we thought we were done with 2020, but I think it has just extended right over into 2021.
Yeah. Somebody said we're experiencing snowvid. And so,
yes, the snowvid. Yes.
We've had a week of sub-zero temps on a lot of nights. People with frozen pipes, no electricity, no water.
Yeah, it's been crazy. No
Weird.
school. Our kids here in Childress haven't gone to school all week because no electricity. There's been pipes that have busted and flooded like whole sections of the elementary school. It's been a mess.
I feel like we're trying out for Survivor.
Yes.
Yes.
We're back to basic survival skills in Texas.
That's exactly right. So if we're a couple of days late, thank you for being patient with us. It's been a little bit crazy around here. Sometimes we have to just work off what God gives us on schedule and time and everything else. So that's kind of what we've been working on. Let me share a Bible verse with you to kind of kick things off this week that I think is really, really good. It says, a friend loves at all time, and a brother is born in adversity. And that's Proverbs 17:17. And we are talking just this week and next week about friendship.
That's right. And I think friendship, that just pretty well boils it down. A friend loves at all times. It's about love.
It is. And we're gonna do something a little bit different. We're gonna interview. I'm gonna interview you this week. You're gonna interview me next week. And just so folks will understand, this week we're talking about how to be your wife's best friend. So I'm going to ask you, because you're a woman, what are some things that men can do to be their wife's best friend? Next week we'll swap that around, and from a man's point of view, I'm going to talk about, you're going to interview me and ask me questions that our female listeners can listen to and say, what are some things that I can do that can help me grow in my friendship with my husband. But today we're looking at growing in our friendship with our wife because friendship is important in marriage.
That's exactly right. And I think you were going to talk about this may not apply to your marriage, right?
That's right. Yes. Now we're basing this off of what we know and understand and probably the majority of marriages. But we may say some things that you go, I don't care if my spouse is my friend in that area or not. So not every podcast, not every social media post is going to fit your marriage. It just doesn't work that way. And so if there's something that's said that doesn't fit you, then it's okay. It doesn't mean you're weird. It doesn't mean you're different. It just means your marriage is not the same as maybe everybody else's. But we're going to take this from our understanding. Lee's going to take it from a woman's point of view of what she feels like women, her being one, would want from a man who was trying to be her friend, her husband, and I'll do it from the other standpoint next week.
Because before we were married, I had a female best friend, and I did, growing up, and I can kind of relate what I found important in female friendships over and kind of just put that over into marriage and kind of overlap those a little bit.
That's right. And friendship, it is okay to have friends. You've still got female friends. I still have male friends.
Yes.
And that's okay. But I really want to be your best friend.
And you are.
I feel
like I have some very close female friends, but you are my best friend.
And that's what makes marriage work like it's supposed to.
Yes.
Two things that I can think of, and then we'll kick this off and we'll start asking you some questions. It is statistically proven, Gottman Institute, I was reading about it today, divorce rate drops to 20% or less, about 18%, in marriages where they feel like they're married to their best friend. So friendship is not just important, it is a key in a healthy, successful marriage. We need to build friendship. And then a lot of people, the second thing I want you to catch is a lot of couples who go, I'm not feeling this. My spouse and I aren't connected like we used to. Maybe our love has died down. It's not a love that's died down. It is a friendship. And it is not a lack of love that many couples are struggling with. It's a lack of friendship. And they started out as great friends, and then their interests have gone two different directions, husbands and wives, and then all of a sudden you kind of are, it's a friendship that you're missing. And friendship is what you got to have. And so we're going to talk about those things today.
That's right. So,
you ready for me to kick this off?
kick it off. Ask me a question.
All right. We'll just start it off. Number one, do you have these in any specific order? I think you have a handful of things that you're going to tell us that are important. So have you put them in what you would consider your most important thing?
Somewhat.
Okay.
Yes, I think
Okay.
somewhat. I
Very good.
think
So
these are
top
all
of the list.
pretty equally
Okay.
important.
All
but-
pretty equally important.
Yeah.
So top of the list, what would you consider something a husband can do that would build his friendship with his wife? If I'm a man and I'm listening to this and I'm going, what do I need to do with my wife so my friendship can be better with her? Number one, what you got?
I think number one would be to give her your time. You cannot have a friendship or build a friendship without spending time together. Spending time together is just the key ingredient to friendship. If you've ever had a friend where, maybe you moved across country from one another and there just was not the opportunity to spend time together like you used to, you find yourself becoming not so close to that friend anymore. Maybe you still have conversations on the phone and all that kind of thing, but you just you have to spend time together to keep that friendship alive.
It's got to be time.
Yes.
So what are some things, if I can ask this, how if I'm a man and I'm listening to this and I'm going, well, I'm working right now and I'm trying to provide for my family, where do I find some time? How do I get time to spend with her? Where does this come from?
Well, I think it kind of spills into the next couple. You need to build common interests together.
Ooh, that is good.
So, that might be if all you can squeeze in is taking a walk together after supper, maybe a 20-minute walk around the neighborhood. That's something you could enjoy doing together. That might be what you can do right now in your busy schedule, but that's good quality time.
So it's making time and not just trying to find it.
That's exactly. You've got to make time for what's important.
Okay. So when we're talking about spending, giving her your time, that's pretty clear and cut forward. That's pretty clear. We got that. So
yes.
So tell me what a second thing is that a man can look at a schedule and go, okay, I got to make more time.
Okay.
What else do they do?
Okay, and I just said common interest is the second thing.
Share common interest.
Share common interest. That was
you to
the
repeat
second
that again,
thing.
because
Okay.
I want to make sure I caught that
Yes,
as well.
you are sharing common interests.
Okay.
And so you're going to make time to do things that you enjoy doing together, whether that is going for a walk, whether that is working out together, whether that is watching a show that you like together. Whatever it is that you like to do together, that's your common interest that you need to keep finding those also. Going to sporting events together, going to concerts, whatever it is. And those things, those things give you the opportunity to not only to spend time together, but to talk to each other and have a conversation, which I'm jumping ahead a little bit. That's the next one. Common interests, man. You've done well at this.
What if you have two or three really important things that you like that maybe me as a man has sat back and said, I don't know, I haven't ever tried that or done this. What can I do as a man to maybe take an interest in some of the things that you like?
I can think of a specific example.
Okay.
I had a birthday coming up one time, and you said, what can we do for your birthday? You choose whatever you want to do. And so I suggested a trip to Canton, Texas, where they have a huge, massive flea market.
Oh, you do like flea markets.
And you were like, ugh. Canton, Texas. I think it was June, because it was my birthday. So it was pretty warm in Canton. So we knew it was going to be pretty hot. It was going to mean walking around all day looking at stuff. Shopping is not we can go to a mall and you're done in 30 minutes and I'm just getting started. So that's the difference in how we shop.
And this flea market goes on for days.
Oh, yeah. We went, I think 2 days was kind of what, didn't we go for
two full days.
2 days. And so, but you just kind of said, hey, I'm going to go and I'm going to have a good time. And you kind of gave yourself a pep talk.
I did.
Yeah.
And men, let me just throw this out there. If your wife likes doing something that you're just not sure you would like, you've got to try it. You cannot go into it with a bad attitude. You cannot go into it going, this is not my thing. If it is important to your wife, it needs to be important to you.
That's right.
And I went into that going, I'm going to have fun, and I'm going to, whatever for her birthday she wants to buy, I'm going to offer to buy it. I'm not going to go, do you really need that? I will carry whatever it is that you buy around until, we take it back to the car, and I will not gripe. I will not say how much longer is this going to take. And I really had a little pep rally for myself, and I thought I did really well.
You did.
And I'm going to just throw this out there. I actually had a good time.
You had a good time. And
it was more fun than I thought.
And we split up. There, I didn't expect you to stay right by my side the whole entire time. I'd say I'm going to be probably right here in this area for a good bit of time. So you just go look, do whatever. And we had our phones. Yeah. We'd meet back up. So.
Yeah, I'd walk around and find little stores that had dogs, and I would, can I pet your dog? Because I like dogs.
Yeah.
It was like, I don't want to buy anything, but I'll sure pay you some money to pet your dog.
That's right. Yeah. So men, at least try whatever it is that your wife likes to do. At least give it a try. There were things that I liked, back, 15, 20 years ago, there was what was called Creative Memories, was this business that was about scrapbooking.
I remember.
You remember? And you'd go to workshops and you'd learn how to do, make your put your pictures on a page where they had a theme, and there was all the colored papers and stickers and markers and templates. And
you think you're giving your age away at this?
Probably. And a lot of our listeners will know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I went through this phase of scrapbooking, and you could have cared less about, sitting down at a table with me and putting pictures into a book. But I remember one time you came in, and I had just been to a little workshop, and you came in and you wanted to see the things I'd done, and you tried to be interested. You tried to ask me questions, and you looked at what I'd done. And so, yeah, guys, at least make an effort. If you're not gonna actually take part in the things that she does, at least show some interest, ask questions, ask to see what she's done, whatever it is. Take part in it in some little form or fashion. And that kind of brings into the next one that I mentioned briefly, which is conversation. Talk to her. If you're going to be your wife's best friend, you've got to talk to her.
Because most women like talking.
Yeah, conversation is
that's what builds friendship.
Is close to the top of the list of a woman's needs as far as marriage goes, and that is what builds a friendship.
That's a good point.
And that's how you get to know each other. That's how you get to know each other. That's how you stay close to each other. That's how you stay connected.
So when she comes in and says, how was your day? And you go, it was good. What'd you do today? And you go, nothing. That's really not what she's looking for.
It's not what she's looking for. She wants you to tell her all the details of your day, even if you think they were boring and you really don't want to rehash all the details of your day. That's what she's looking for. And like I said, is the more common interests that y'all have together, the easier conversation's going to come, because you'll talk about your interests. I mean, we've gotten to where we love baseball, and that's one of our common interests. And we'll talk about.
We can drive down the road to a workshop and spend an hour talking baseball.
Talk baseball. So like I said, the more common interest you have, the easier conversation is going to be. So those things kind of go hand in hand right there.
Talking may not be your thing, guys, and that is okay. But if your spouse likes it,
right.
then you need to learn to give that. I don't always understand why my wife likes to talk, but if that's what she likes, I'm more than happy to talk.
That's true.
Because she does things for me that I have no doubt she thinks, I don't know why he needs that, but if that's what he needs, I'll do that.
And maybe your wife carries the bulk of the conversation, but you need to be a good listener, which means pay attention and don't be sitting there watching TV while she's talking and paying more attention to that, or don't be on your phone while she's talking. Give her your full attention and take part in the conversation.
It would be okay to ask her about work and what she's got going on at work and
ask
some of
her
the
about,
projects. And
what projects are you working on? All of those things.
That's important. So we've got giving her time. We've got common interests. We've got talking to her. Tell me a fourth one down here that if I want to really be my wife's friend, this is important to her.
I think that something very important is to be trustworthy. I mean, you're not going to build a friendship with somebody you can't trust, right?
That's the truth.
Why would you? So be trustworthy. This is being open and honest. This is not keeping secrets from her. This is keeping confidences together. You're not going to go off and spout things that's personal about your marriage to everybody. That's part of being trustworthy. So be trustworthy.
Yeah, and that's common sense. But at the same time, say what you mean what you say. Be cautious about, I was here and you weren't there. Just little details are very, very important. And don't try. You just be trustworthy in your conversation and things that you do, because no one's going to be friends with somebody who's dishonest.
That's right. Be where you brought that up. Be where you say you're going to be.
Be home when you say you're going to be home.
When you say you're going to be home. Check in with her. A lot of that's just common courtesy. If you're going to be late, let her know you're going to be late. Just all of those things. Respect. Yeah,
in marriage. What's something else men can do that will help build friendship with their wives?
Be loyal.
Oh, I like that.
I mean, everybody wants a loyal friend, right? You don't want somebody that's going to be your friend one day and then turn their back on you the next. So be loyal.
No negative feedback on social media. To your buddies, I guess always have your spouse's back.
Always have your spouse's back. Speak well of me in front of your friends. Have my back. Defend me if somebody speaks bad about me. You should jump right in there and go, hey.
That includes family?
Yeah.
That would include family, kids.
Yep.
Yeah. You have your spouse's back and you make sure that, be loyal. Nobody wants to, what's the old phrase about going around saying bad things behind their back? A spouse should go around saying good things behind your back.
Yeah.
To your friends, to everybody. And so, be loyal to your wife. And that is good. That's good stuff. What's another one?
I think another one would be to lend a helping hand. Okay. Everybody needs a little help from a friend every once in a while.
Serve your wife? Is that a good way to put that?
I think, serve me. But just, be willing to help out. If I just need a little, extra help with whatever I feel like I'm just overwhelmed with at the moment, just always be willing to say, hey, how can I make your day easier?
Okay. Ask maybe, is there something I can do for you?
That's right.
Men, if your wives, this is wintertime, start their car, warm it up, scrape the ice off of it, keep her oil changed, check and see if it needs gas, wash it.
Yeah.
Just anything you can do to help her.
Yeah. Y'all are a team, basically. I mean, don't expect your wife to just totally handle everything with the house and the kids and their homework and their school appointments. I mean, y'all are a team and you need to take, responsibility in those things as well and share the load.
Yeah. Help make the beds. Those are the worst. Those are the worst.
Yeah. So.
But we can do that. So we're going to serve. We got a couple of more things that men can do. Number 7 would be
encourage and affirm her.
What does that
encourage
mean?
And affirm
for men, that's that. What are you saying?
So I'm saying be her cheerleader. Okay, so celebrate her wins. If she's had something good happen, something positive, then celebrate with her. Tell her she's awesome. Support her. If she's got something new she wants to try, stand behind her and say, I am with you 100%, and I will support you, and I will, be
excellent.
right there. Affirm her best qualities and overlook her worst. So,
that is so good.
yeah. So,
So point out what she does well.
That's exactly
and
right.
Don't spend all the time talking about the.
Don't
whatever
criticize
it is.
and nitpick whatever might get on your nerves.
That is really good.
Don't ever shame her, diminish her, or make her feel small. I mean, that's just, nobody wants that.
Because friends don't do that.
Friends don't do that to each other.
Can I rephrase that? A lot of men do that to their buddies, and that's cool.
Jokingly.
Jokingly do
Yes.
that to their friends. My friend Randy and I, we talk bad about each other all day long to each other. But I love that man, and we respect one another. And I can do that to him because he's a buddy. But you do something like that to your wife. No, there's that you don't do that. That's not the same relationship where you call your your buddy knothead or dummy or whatever it is. You don't.
So
do
do you
that.
think, as a man, do you think a lot of men, since that's kind of how y'all do in your man friendships, do you think that spills over and a lot of men feel like that's okay and that's how they treat their wife?
I
as a
think they
friend?
do until their wife
Lets them know that that's
has
not
some
good.
tears and you realize, oh, I shouldn't have said that.
I think I just hurt her feelings.
Yes, and so men give love to other men differently. Punch them in the arm, and they call them names and things along those lines. They give them a hard time. You can't do that. You men listening, especially if you're young married and you're just figuring out this marriage thing, you can't do that with your wife. You say kind things, and you use kind words, and you overlook those things that maybe she's not as good at, and you bring out those best qualities, and you remember she's not your buddy that you fish with and call names and that sort of things.
And if she wants a piece of pie, don't make fun of her and tell her she's not going to be able to fit through the bedroom door if she eats the piece.
Exactly right.
Yeah, those kinds of things.
Yeah, not going to fit in them jeans if
You're
you
right.
keep eating that pie.
That's
That's not your
right.
job to. Yeah, exactly right.
So, yes, encourage and affirm. Celebrate her wins, support her, affirm
Be a
her.
cheerleader. I like
Never
that. That's
shame
good.
her. Be her cheerleader.
That's it. I like one of the things I loved about Fixer Upper was that Chip and JoJo were each other's biggest cheerleaders.
They were.
And they were always cheering each other on. They just constantly were going, "You are awesome," and I just think that was a great example of marriage. And whatever your spouse does, you be in the background going, "You got this. This is you." You get your arms in the air and you cheer them on.
That's right.
Number 8, give us the last one.
So the last one I think we'll talk about today is just to appreciate the friendship. Appreciate it and don't take it for granted. Don't take your marriage for granted. Don't put it on the back burner. There's a lot of things as men that you might put your job before your marriage. You might put your hobbies before your marriage. Whatever it is, that's dangerous. And
do that.
Yeah, don't do that, because before long, if you're putting something ahead of your marriage / friendship with your wife, there's not much of a marriage / friendship there.
That's true.
So you've got to invest in it. You've got to continue to cultivate that friendship. So
we did that as men. We do that really well when we're dating and when we're
right.
engaged. We're going on dates and we're holding hands and we're saying nice things and we're telling them they're beautiful and we want to spend time together. And if we're not careful, once we get married, we kind of get lax on those. And that's not healthy.
So appreciate it. Don't take it for granted. Continue to cultivate it.
That's it. That's good. All things that men can do to be a better friend to their wife, because friendship is extremely important. Very important. Well done. I'm kind of excited about next week, talking about what men like in friends. And I thought of one while ago while you were talking. I thought, I've got to add that to my list. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but definitely needs to be on the list. Because there's some things that men like that is very, very important that women can do to help build friendship with their husbands.
Very cool. I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add today?
I think we're good.
We are glad you have joined us, and we are thankful that you listen to our podcast. If you get a chance, Leave us a review. Say something about our podcast. Anything you can do like that when you give us a review on iTunes or Apple's helps us out a ton. Thanks for joining us.
See you next week.